Hello and welcome to Studio 415.
On today's show, you will get a front row seat to a recent Trump rally, as well as student reactions.
You'll hear how Carroll's economics class performed at the Titan business simulation.
And you'll see how the boys and girls basketball teams have started their seasons.
All of that and more coming up next. Welcome to Studio 415. I'm Joe Hacker.
And I'm Jackson Miller. A day before the crucial midterm election, President Trump made a campaign stop right here in Fort Wayne to stump for Republican Senate candidate Mike Braun.
With his massive rallies being one of the things he's best known for, many students at Carroll jumped at the opportunity to witness one live in their hometown. I talked to some of the students that attended that rally to get their perspective on the first visit from a sitting president since 1982. On Monday, November 5th, President Donald Trump held a campaign rally at the Memorial Coliseum, with the midterm election being just one day away. The trip to Fort Wayne was the president's second visit to the Hoosier State in 4 days to campaign on behalf of Republican Senate candidate Mike Braun. A number of students from Carroll were in attendance at the rally, some of those students standing on the floor, and some sitting in the stands, with at least one student being lucky enough to sit in the VIP section directly behind the president.
It was hectic because everyone was running and I didn't even know where I was going. I just wanted to try to get to the nosebleeds, but then a security officer pulled me over and he asked me who was all in my party, and I told him too, and he said that he could get us the best seats in the arena. So we waited for about 2 hours for the seats right behind President Trump.
Given the extensive support the president has in Indiana, the Coliseum was expecting around 20,000 people to attend the rally, and since the arena only holds roughly 11,000, there wasn't an empty seat in the arena, leading to thousands being put into the Coliseum's conference center to watch the rally on the screens made available inside. One of those students was Elijah Gutierrez. While he hoped to still make it into the main arena after leaving school at 3:30, he was surprised by how the conference center still offered an atmosphere similar to that inside the main arena.
Well, in the conference center, I thought it'd be pretty juiceless and nobody would really cheer or anything, but it turned out everyone was pretty juiceful and useful throughout the entire event.
While the rally had a plethora of highlights from different speakers, such as Senator Todd Young, Ivanka Trump, and former Notre Dame football coach Lou Holtz, to name just a few, there was one moment that seemed to be in the minds of many that attended the rally.
When they announced that Trump was walking out on the stage was pretty crazy. It got super loud, and just having that surreal moment was pretty special.
Probably when he walked out, it was just so loud, and you just feel all the energy throughout the arena. I don't know, it's just really cool.
While President Trump likely won't be back in Indiana until 2022 at best, you can still take the chance to see him during the 2020 election in states like Michigan and Ohio. For Studio 415, I'm Joe Hacker. On November 29th, several economics students from Carroll went on a field trip to participate in Junior Achievement's Titan program.
The students competed against other area schools in a business simulation to prove their skills in running their own corporation. Studio 415 reporter Caitlin Cooper went to the competitions and has this story.
For most teenagers, the current fad is likely an iPhone, but in Titan Business Simulator, this technology is the Holo Generator, a disc that presents films in holographic, three-dimensional form. The game allows players to become the owners of a corporation selling the latest Holo Generators. In this simulation, the students control every aspect of the business. For each financial quarter, the partners must decide how much they will sell their Holo Generators for, and what they will spend in production, marketing, capital investment, research and development, and finally, how much they will give to charity.
We're maxed out right now, so let's take it down to like 7,200.
The game allows students to pick new features to add to their product. These include anything from smell-o-vision to a wafer-thin case. After each period, the groups receive their performance index based on how their businesses did. The partners with the highest score in the end win the competition. After all the logistics of the competition, however, economics teacher Chris Adams sees this as a meaningful learning experience.
If they can walk out of this class as better informed citizens, to be able to make, again, decisions that they know will benefit not just them, but the economy, the culture, their own personal well-being, I feel like I've done my job.
Weeks before the field trip, economics students learn how to play Titan. They can play practice games on their own or study a lengthy information sheet. For 2 block days, the students play Titan in class, and the top 2 partner groups per class earn their spots on the trip to the regional competition located at Junior Achievements Biztown. Carroll has won first prize 7 consecutive years, but was awarded second place last year. This year's participants hoped their hard work would pay off, regardless of placement.
Like I said, it helped me understand what goes into running a business, so if I ever do start a business in the future, I might have a little bit, I have more access to information that others might not have that might help me in the future be more successful.
Carroll students are not the only ones that have spent weeks preparing for Titan. This year, they competed with 8 other schools, 2 of them remotely online. Additionally, hundreds of dollars are given away as prizes to the winning partners. Weeks of planning go into this event, and in the past, the top groups have moved on to a national competition. According to Don Horan, who is in charge of organizing the tournament, this competition bridges the gap between most teenagers' interests and economics as a subject.
And I think it really helps them to understand, again, how does a business operate? It sparks that interest and that enthusiasm in learning more and potentially pursuing that as a career.
Carroll placed 5th and 6th place at the Regional Titan Tournament this year, but nothing compares to the prize of becoming an educated citizen. With that being said,
Take economics.
for Studio 415, I'm Caitlin Cooper.
The squeak of shoes on the hardwood floor, buzzers, and the bounce of a basketball are all the sounds that basketball fans look forward to every winter.
With the boys and girls basketball seasons underway, there are plenty of opportunities for fans to get their fill. Studio 415 reporter Ethan Barkas joins us in studio for this story.
Coach Marty Beasley and Mark Redding have spent the offseason and preseason preparing their boys and girls teams for Hoosier hysteria. Since the season has started, only time will tell if both teams will reach their goals.
The boys team has just started up their season. Head coach Marty Beasley says the main goal for this basketball team this year is to work together as a team.
Typically our goals are to be the best teammate you can be the best player you can be within the role that you have to play within.
However, bonds aren't only made on the court, but off the court, in the on and off season. Players work together during the season to make sure they're building strong bonds.
Yeah, over the summer, we've been working on that, and we've been focused on like team bonding as far as like community service. We put in community service hours as a team, and all the things we do, we try to incorporate team bonding.
As far as on the court goals, Beasley just says they want as many wins as they can get. The boys team went 20-4 last year and made sectionals. They hope to return to the sectionals again this year.
Obviously we want to win conference, win sectional, and go from beyond, but right now we're just trying to be the best teammate we can be and the best team we can be early on.
The girls team hopes to prove that their lack of seniors and returning varsity players won't affect their on-court performance and record.
The varsity team this year is less experienced than all the other varsity teams, so we're working to prove everyone wrong and show that we can actually win games.
And they are doing just that, starting this year off strong with a few wins and many new competitions on the way.
Catch the boys team playing 7:30 this Friday at East Noble High School, and the girls play at Warsaw tonight at 7:30 as well. For Studio 415, I'm Ethan Marcus.
The musical was a big hit all 4 show days. While it proved to be a great experience for cast members, they weren't the only ones showcasing their talents that night.
The musical wouldn't have been possible without the skills of a class right here at Carroll. Studio 415 reporter Olivia Haggard brings us more on the technical theater class.
The Tech Theater class has been around for a long time, starting out almost 15 years ago as a way to give students extra credit. This semester, the class is made up of 7 students. Choosing who to allow into the class is an involved process and a duty belonging to the theater teacher, Steve Pearson.
Administration agreed that I could handpick some students with good grade point averages who had an interest in tech theater that I could trust and who would stay eligible grade-wise to be able to work after school at different programs. So that's why the class is relatively handpicked and small.
In this one-semester class, students will learn to work with lighting, audio, microphones, build sets, and tear down. They will learn how to operate soundboards, change bulbs in stage lights, and even how to program the new LED lights Carroll received in 2017. But Tech Theater students aren't just confined to learn how to work on a stage. They also get the opportunity to take an active role in running performances. Senior Cora Stratton took the part of stage manager for Ghost the Musical.
And I was telling when to unmute mics a lot of times or when to hit the new light when a light color needed to change, and I was basically the one reading the script the whole time and saying when things were coming up and when things needed to happen.
But this class isn't just about the lights and mics. both current and past students like senior Ashlyn Weber find themselves growing closer and creating meaningful friendships thanks to the small class size.
Like a lot of those people in that class, I could tell everything to. I didn't have to worry about like what they'd think of me. Like we all grew really close together. Even like Mr. Pearson, I could tell him anything. And I knew that like he wouldn't judge me.
If you're interested in joining the Tech Theater class, talk to Mr. Pearson in room 309. For Studio 415, I'm Olivia Haggard.
From the students who run the tech to the teachers who teach, the music program at Carroll has been growing.
In my story, I take a look at a new music teacher to Carroll and how he has been impacting students. These are the sounds of the classes of Eric Smead, a new addition to the Carroll High School and Middle School staffs. Smead teaches all kinds of classes throughout the musical department, ranging from piano and keyboarding to teaching students music history. Not only does he work his day at Carroll High, but after fourth period, he finds his way over to Carroll Middle School, teaching general music and co-directing their show choir. After school hours, he can often be found aiding the choir or just singing along with them. And during the musical season, he is working on the production, co-directing, and guiding students. With such an involved schedule, Smead explains that through high school he found a home in music and hopes to bring a positive musical experience to the students of Carroll.
So ever since then, it really impacted my life, and so I was like, you know what, I think I really need to do that and provide that opportunity for other students who might go through similar circumstances that I did. And so, you know, that's kind of what led me to become a teacher and my goal of teaching, and yeah.
Smead hopes to provide Carroll with a learning environment that is safe for his students, yet pushes them to take risks and challenges in their education. According to his students, he does just that.
Mr. Smead is one of my favorite teachers. I really enjoy his class, and I think, like, for me personally, the subject isn't that like interesting, but I think he finds ways to make it interesting and appealing to people that aren't, you know, musical people.
I like how he always makes sure to make the classroom fun. You know, he always does activities where everyone's always involved and we have a good time with him.
If you need an art credit or considering taking a music class, consider music history or piano and keyboarding to have Mr. Smead as a teacher. For Studio 415, I'm Jackson Miller. That's all we have today. Thanks for watching.
The semester is coming to a close, so please be thinking about stories that we can tell next semester.
For all of us here at Studio 415, have a great week, Carroll.
Days and friendly smiles, walk the halls with me. Studio 415. Watch the news unfold. Never a dull moment. Students today create our future. Come and join the fun. Studio